Hi Cancer, and welcome to February 2015 Tarot Interpretive reading with me. I hope wherever you are around the world you have had a great start to 2015. So for this month we're going to do 4 cards. Each card will represent a week in the month roughly, and then we will draw an overall energy card from this deck to see what the overall energy is for the month as well, and then we'll do something a little bit different at the end. So let's see for you, Cancer, what is coming your way. Okay. Death, the Knight of Pentacles, Judgment, the Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Interestingly enough, most of the readings I've done for February seem to have quite a bit of energy in them, like strong energies. A few of these major arcana cards coming out. These are the ones that deliver messages that possibly come quite quickly and with quite a strong background to them, like they're really wanting to get something through to us. Excuse me. So if we're thinking that this is the 4 weeks of the month of February and this is the overall energy, if we take this one here to start with first, the overall energy, and I'll just tilt my camera up a little bit so you can see a bit more. So let's come up here and start with the Knight of Swords. Now, unlike some of the other sword cards in the deck, this guy can actually point to quite good positive action, upbeat. Look, he's really on a direction, headed out here, and he's got his arm up in his ear with his sword, all guns blazing. He quite often shows us that there's going to be activity around the month, that it could be a fast-paced month with lots of things happening. Generally though, they're often quite positive things coming in, either something that you may have started or set off earlier in the year or some time ago down the track that's coming to fruition, or just suddenly something new coming in and you go, oh okay, I'll look at that, or I'll think about that. It can also literally mean, you know, if we think of this as being a person, there could be this person around you in that month of February, and again, he could be someone who really kicks things into action and gets them going. There could be new propositions or proposals for you too, and given that this is the overall energy for this whole reading, it puts a sort of a faster beat to it all, or an upbeat, if you get my drift. He's generally quite positive, but he certainly rattles things. Nothing much will stay the same. And interestingly, if we start in the first week, this Death card, we see that as being literal transformation, newness, about new beginnings, going to new things or becoming a new person, getting rid of the old that no longer suits us, walking away from things in particular. So turning your back on something that didn't suit you any longer and moving into the new. And interestingly, this guy's got his back towards us a little bit too at the end of the month, and he's looking into the future, into the distance, as if he's saying, right, there's a whole new part of me, I'm seeking my new direction and my new future. That, coupled with these, and even this one, gives me the feeling of something about you in the month of February wanting to embellish, change, at many levels possibly for you. He is a big one, this one here, the first one of the week. You could start February feeling quite, you know, within, not necessarily sombre, but quite thoughtful or contemplative about what it actually is you want, where you want to be going. You might get a whole lot of those thoughts arising. But again, we always see it as a positive card of really new beginnings. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, he again could be like a person similar to this. When the court cards turn up, we often say they could simply be someone like that who comes into your life. And he could be around work or a friend or a relative. Quite often an earth sign, because this card relates to the earth sign energies. They're quite stable, thoughtful, usually helpful. They can be It can be about new messages to do with finances. It could be about thinking about a new job that you would like to apply for. It might be a good time to apply. He's a nice, solid, safe energy in that second week of February. When we come to the Judgment card, we see this again. It's quite spiritual. It's a major arcana, so this first week and the third week could have quite a lot of weight in them for you in February, quite a lot of change going on at your own personal psyche level, thinking, contemplating. This one's a wee bit the same. You know, you're feeling, okay, I think I need to make changes at whatever area of my life, or changes are coming for me, if you like. It also tells us to perhaps not judge others. The word judgment is quite literal, and it gives you a clue. It could be about either being judged by someone or judging others. And when we get into a space of judgmentalism, it's usually not the right place. So go a bit soft on yourself, be a bit lenient, give yourself some leeway, and also others. If they're either situations are cropping up or you're feeling a bit tetchy about someone, step back and think twice and see if you can see things from their side of the story as well. Then we come to this last week here. I'll just pop back here to health. It talks about letting go of past wrongs again. So this is this whole judgment feeling, and it also talks about that from the perspective of health. If you're dealing with chronic medical issues at all and you're wondering how or when they're going to get better, sometimes actually letting them go and not holding on to them so tightly can be the first step in moving them on and in the right direction. And if we think of this as a card of love or romances or relationships, if you're in a relationship, you could find it becoming almost a make or break period involved when this card turns up. So it's a good time to be clear about what you want out of life and your relationships, and to see if they're meeting your needs and your desires, and likewise, are they meeting your partners? So is everybody gelling together and balancing together well? It can be a time when discussions could be broached about your relationship and your desires and your directions. And this one here, the Two of Wands, he's again contemplating change. He's looking to his future. I sometimes think is an indicator of travel. I just get that feeling, perhaps because he holds the globe in his hand. So maybe for some of you there could be a little bit of travel involved towards the end of February. He's fairly steady. The wands often indicate jobs or, career or creativity. So I wonder if there's a possibility of new chances of jobs coming in towards the end of February. It might be a good time to apply or to establish some creative thinking around how you want to do your job or what you want your future to be with it. Health-wise, if we look at the Two of Wands, it's just balance again, balance about your health, about your body, about your chakras in particular. You might be able to find if you need chakra balancing. And diet again, it just tends to come up, balance your sleep, your diet, your exercise. Don't overdo any one of those. So Cancer, that's actually a really nice reading for you, really kind of upbeat and full of action and energy. I'll now move on to the next part of the reading. So here we've come to the second part of the reading, guys, and I'm going to be using this deck of cards. They're really beautiful. It's a unicorn deck, lovely to look at. I don't really need to shuffle them because they're all spread everywhere. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to think of a question that you would like answered. So if it's going to take you a minute or two to contemplate one, then just push pause on the video. Otherwise, think of your question, and then when it's come into your head, I'm going to draw a card, and you're also going to be involved in the interpretation of what that card could mean for your question, and I will also do my best to interpret it from my end. So let's see, where are we going to actually go? Try something new. You'll only know that you can do something if you try. Okay, So whatever your question might have been, it would appear it might be suggesting to you that you've got to bring something new in to this situation to make it work, or to bring, see, when we bring new energy, we often get rid of blocks that surround something. So sometimes you can be butting your head against a brick wall. You know, let's say you were wanting to try and lose weight, for instance, and you've asked, oh, when am I going to be able to lose weight, or when am I going to lose weight? And you get this answer, it says try something new. Well, it's obviously saying to you that what you're currently doing around the situation is not working. So rather than keep going at it, you've got to look down a different avenue. So whatever your question may have been, in this particular instance, only you're going to know that, the way for you to get enlightenment for it, or to get some new energy into it, or to get some action happening around it, is to bring something new to it. Actually, it was quite an easy answer, that, wasn't it? And just for you, for the very end, I will draw one of the lovely energies from these decks, the higher energy cards. So let's see what you get just as a final message for you. Integrity, Haniel, integrity. I kind of think that matches a bit with the Judgment card. It's actually about your integrity too, about making sure that there's balance in the things that you do, in the way that you treat others, the way that you treat yourself, and that you stand true to your beliefs and your goals and your actions without having to break your integrity or belief system. And if others in your life are forcing you to, or forcing you into a situation where it's pushing up against your beliefs or values, often that indicates to us that that's not going to be the right thing to do. Because when we're put in that position and we don't remain true to ourselves, we're often letting ourselves down, which in the end brings internal turmoil. So your integrity values are very important, about your boundaries, your tolerances, your goals, and really they're the foundations of setting who you are. So there you are, Cancer. That's a really neat reading, actually. You've got some lovely messages, and know that your integrity values are very important to you. And I wish you the very best for February, and I hope you have a great month. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate that you all do. I love your comments, your feedback, and the fact that you view the videos. So kia kaha and much aroha.